Okay. We don't have to take too much time to wait out the entry of people in the chat, but I think they'll come anyway, so we should be good. Because I usually wait take about 5 minutes for people to file in. Yeah. Very exciting stuff here, though. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So 2. Okay, cool. I'll make a note of that. Yeah. Boy, I've learned so much about you, Cecily, in the last couple days. It's fantastic.
Oh,
I love it.
well, thank you.
I don't mean that in a creepy way. I just meant like in our conversations together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I figured as much. Oh, yeah.
But it's really cool that that we have a similar taste in music than I realized. Like this is just rocking the boat. This is just right in my wheelhouse here. This will be really fun. Yeah. So, how has your day been, by the way? I haven't asked that yet.
Oh, my day's been pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, though, I was on a almost 2-hour interpreting call, and so after that, it was like I stopped talking for like 2.5 hours afterwards. I was just like, I'm done.
Gotcha.
But it was really fun. It was a social worker call. Like that tends to be most of my calls.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So it was a little intense, but the people were really nice, and so that it wasn't as stressful as it could have been.
Okay.
But it's been a pretty good day, and I worked on some music too. I was working on an original and a cover that will eventually come out.
Okay.
The original is going to be part of a series of EPs I'm going to do, and the other is a cover of, actually, it's going to be a cover of Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat.
Oh, wow. Classic.
Run away, turn away, run away. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That's gotta, yeah, I mean, that's the song where the Bronx Beat leave up to their name. It's like do 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 do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually very sad, and like I took it like girl and piano style, and really kind of emphasized like the story of the song and everything, and it's something that's still pretty relevant. I feel like, yeah, it was a song written about the lead singer's experience of being gay in a small town and his having to leave home because he felt rejected.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that is relevant. Holy cow. Yeah, so sad.
And the video too, like the video is kind of pretty much tells like the story of the song, where like he clearly has a crush on another guy in the town, and then people start beating up on him, and so he leaves, and yeah.
Just some kind of, yeah, that's, there have been a lot of stories like that, unfortunately, and you just hate it. But that's where music like that can come from. Like, you can tell a story, and sometimes it's a sad story like that one. But still a great beat though, for what it's worth. But hey, CT, we have a really cool thank you very much for the shout out, and it's nice to see you in the chat. Our friend CT is also a streamer and does music as well. But yeah, I'd say this. I mean, the Bronski Beat is the one where I probably only know that one song. But a lot of the acts that we've been talking about, I do know quite a bit of their catalog. But are there any other songs of theirs that you like?
There's another song on the same album. It's called Why. That one is pretty good. I really only know that one album. They did another album, but it was without that particular lead singer, Jimmy Somerville, and it just doesn't sound the same.
Really?
Because Jimmy Somerville, he has this kind of, his voice kind of reminds me of Sylvester, who was a pretty popular post-disco artist.
I remember Sylvester, from the 70s, right?
Yeah, You Make Me Feel Mighty Real is one of his hits. You Make Me Feel Mighty Real. And now there's a Do You Want a Funk? Like it's used in Trading Places. You can hear in the background.
Right. That's right.
Scenes,
that's right.
Do you want a funk? Yeah. But like Jimmy Somerville had that kind of like high, very feminine kind of falsetto voice, and just the music, Bronski Beat without that just doesn't sound the same.
Oh yeah, because that's an interesting point. Like, I didn't know. I don't know. I guess whether the singer was male or female. So if that's a male voice, wow, that's quite a register.
Oh my god, Yeah. It's seriously like the beginning of beginning of Small Town Boy, where he goes, that real high falsetto there.
Yeah.
Or I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to blow out the speaker here. Because I can do it, but it's like I have to be like. He does have quite a range on him. Oh my god.
That's incredible. It really is. Like, that's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let's see if we have any more folks out there. Okay, so welcome in everybody. We have a big announcement to start our show tonight. So I'm hoping to get some more folks in the chat before we begin, but we don't have to. I mean, I think we're pretty much ready to roll, and we've had the smoothest tech setup probably this year so far with cecileemusic. It was like zip and we're ready, and we're like, yes, it was so good. So I think we can start. We'll wait. Well, as we get going, I'm sure folks will join us, and then we can make the announcement. So let's do it. I'm excited. This is exciting.
Cool. Yeah. I'm excited too. Oh my gosh.
I like it a lot. Pinball says, "Way to jinx yourself, Davey." I know. What have I done? I'm like, we'll just wait for people to come in, and then it's.
Oh, way to jinx yourself, baby.
That is good. That is good.
I see the chat there.
Oh, that's great, Pinball. Welcome in, Pinball. How you doing? Shout out to Pinball Sorcerer too. I know he
bonjour.
Stream offline. Is the stream offline? Did I do something?
No, it seems to be running on my end here.
Oh, I got
joke.
it. I got it. Joke. Sorry. Joke. Ultra joke. Pinball. The reason why I wasn't sure is because yesterday when I was on with Island Vibing Presents, we had the worst internet connection I've seen in months. It was brutal. I was getting an upstream of 4 megabits per second. That's pathetic. I was like, what is going on? And I couldn't stop it because we were having such a good conversation. And if you missed it, I would actually advise you to go to, because we simulcasted on Island Vibing Presents, go to Island Vibing Presents for the VOD, because it was terrific. And they were celebrating 500 followers. And we're all so happy for them, for vibing and adjacent over here. We'll have more about them a little bit later. But seriously, those guys are great. And I owe them oh, shoot. Okay, I need to do something. Let me work on that.
Well, while you work on that, I want to do a quick shout out because I know that my parents are listening. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Cool.
And my cat is listening too. She's sitting next to me.
Well, hello to the little feline. Hello, how you doing tonight?
Feline, but she's like, I'm sleeping. Don't bother me. Shout out parents. Literally wouldn't be here without you.
That's true.
That's
true
right.
Story.
Very true. True that, man.
Okay, I'm gonna add to this command later. Let's get started. I don't want to keep you waiting, so let's go ahead and start.
Keeping me waiting.
Pinball's got some funnies today. I love it.
I know. I'm looking at the chat, man.
This is great. Already off to the flying start. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sandwich Show. My name is Davey, and as you know, I'm that sandwich eating guy on Instagram, and I also host a show here on Twitch called The Sandwich Show, where we feature content creators all throughout the Twitch platform and through other platforms. And sometimes they do both. Tonight is a good example of that. And so I introduce to you one of my newest follows on the Twitch platform, and that is our friend cecileemusic. Cecily, it is an absolute privilege. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Yep, feeling good.
I'm
feeling good.
You know, it's great. So I met you by way of the Together Wherever Streamfest in January, and you had a great show. I loved your piano chops. It's really great. But your life is a very interesting life because you have an IRL occupation. You mentioned that you're an interpreter. And you also mentioned a podcast. But let's start with the IRL stuff. And your music. Like, you have 40 original songs, which I find really impressive. Like, that's really good.
Oh, those are just the 40 that I actually like and that are actually good.
Wow, really? Really?
Really, I actually have like more than 40 songs. It's just those are the ones that stick with me the most and that are actually good.
That's so
But yes,
interesting.
I do have a lot of original songs.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to prefer singing my own material, although it is fun to do reimaginings of songs sometimes. But I mostly prefer doing my own stuff.
That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, that's so interesting, and I guess that's true. I guess that would make sense. That would track because, like, if you are, if you're a musician, you're gonna write a lot of songs, but you're not gonna use them all. Like, you're only gonna use that which really connects and hits, and
Mm-hmm.
does what you want it to do. But it's still, to me, the amount of content you've created is very cool. And now, over how long of a period of time did you write these songs? Like, was it over about a couple years, a couple of decades?
Yeah, it's been now the ones that are on my current album, Never Enough Flowers,
Mhm.
were written over a period of about 3 years. So they span from well before the pandemic. The oldest song on there is called Diving Bell, and that one I wrote in 2016. And so I wrote that quite a while ago. And all the way up to the newest song, which is A Smile Like That, which is written like May of last year. So, but most of them were written in this period of like 2018, 2019 to about 2020. And then I had a whole lot of stuff going on during the pandemic. So that inspired even more songs. So I've got another project I'm working on. It's going to be a series of EPs that each have about 4 songs each and that kind of tell their own self-contained story, like kind of talking about some of my more of my journey, because I've been through a lot of things in the last couple of years that have led me to who I am, and being comfortable with that too, because that's important.
Yeah, it's very much so. That's a really good observation because being comfortable with the music, being comfortable with your singing voice, and
Yeah.
it's not a small thing. And I think everybody, even like non-professionals, right, could kind of has that journey. Like, when does it kind of reach where it wants to be? And for you,
Yeah.
Cecily, like, when did you feel comfortable with your singing voice?
Honestly, it was probably sometime last year, or probably mostly last year. I've actually been taking lessons from Charlotte Martin, who is herself a singer-songwriter. She's one of my absolute favorites. So like not a lot of people get to say that, whoa, like they're one of their favorite singers is also their mentor, and she's also a friend. And she herself was signed to a major label, had all sorts of label issues, and then she did the indie thing. I was really into her music in this like period of like the mid 2000s where I was getting into like her and Tori Amos and Kate Bush and some of the other female songwriters that I like. But she really helped me find my confidence because she has a voice that's similar to mine. So she was able to point out to me, like, hey, your voice sounds similar to mine when you go here. Why don't you try this? And just encouraging me in my writing and to try and push myself. And also me discovering that I'm actually a soprano. Like when I was in choir, I thought I was an alto, so which is the lower female part. And
Oh
certainly,
yeah.
like when I talk, sometimes I can get kind of chesty a little bit, like most people do.
Mhm.
Oh, no, no, no. But I'm really more of a soprano, so it took me a little bit to kind of get used to like what my voice can do instead of trying to compare it to other people, which I think is very difficult to do. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people get caught up in like, oh, well, I don't sound like Adele or I don't sound like Ariana Grande. I can't sing. Well, no, you can sing. It's just what fits your voice,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And I think that's what's important. Like, Bob Dylan's never going to sing Ariana Grande
Nope.
and stuff like that. Like, he knows his limitations of his voice. You got to know the limitations of yours and just be comfortable with what you can do.
That's great. Yeah. I think it's, speaking on a personal level, I certainly have been better at finding that zone, but I think there's always going to be continuous improvement, and I'm sure it'd be no
Oh,
different for
yeah.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
And you mean singing is just like any other skill. And
Hmm.
actually, Charlotte talks a lot about how singers are actually athletes. Like, she was going to be an opera singer, she
Hmm.
was trained to be an opera singer. And so she teaches me things that I incorporate into my own shows.
Hmm.
Like, sometimes when my partner is watching me sing, and like, especially if she's like watching me sing in a certain way, I'll say to her like, hey, you could probably see that I was like getting up on the seat and just really working with my support. And so she's taught me a lot of that, because it is true, singing is a very physical sort of thing. You know, you've got your breath and you've got all your support, and that's how opera singers can go and like yell at audiences for 3 hours and not kill their voices.
Wow. Oh, no, I know. There must be so much like training and guessing and judging based on like what you can do, how much you can do, like you said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's got to be so frightening when a voice gives out. Oh my god. I can only imagine.
I've had that happen sometimes, like if I'm singing an open mic night, and before I was singing with Charlotte, and I didn't really, I would hear a lot about make sure you've got support, but my voice teachers would never show me what that's supposed to look like, how is that supposed to feel. And I remember one time I was at an open mic night, and I could feel my voice kind of like I was trying to also like reach for notes that I really wasn't prepared or prepped to really do. And I could feel it giving out, and I'm just like, oh shit. Okay, just keep going. This is like band class. Just keep going. Just keep swimming.
Love it. But that's great that you powered through that. That's really great. I mean, that takes a lot of energy. That takes a lot of resolve, and it's a very key component to being a live performer. So that's great.
Oh yeah, kind of adapt, and just it's like, because I mean I was also a teacher, and when you're a teacher and you're standing in front of the classroom, and you got to be able to adapt real quick to what those kids are doing or what everybody's doing, and I even do that now with my job. I have to think on my feet.
Yeah. Well, I think that's true of everybody's jobs, which is key. I'm glad you can do that, because that'll make things a lot better for you in the long run. Yeah, that's great. Oh yeah. So, do you still perform live from like now? I imagine you do with an album out and everything.
Do you mean performing like in front of an actual audience, or more like just general performing?
Oh, a great question. Do you? Yeah, like even, I'm not saying like concert halls or anything like that, but do you? Would you?
Oh, I wish.
I know, wouldn't that be fun? But have you had the chance to be able to do shows at maybe smaller venues or things like that, or even medium venues?
Yeah, I actually have so I'm in Southern Virginia, and there's a really neat restaurant where they actually had a real piano. And all I had to do was just like bring the PA and all that. Actually, for that one, I forgot the PA, and people ended up talking over me for 3 hours, and it was very discouraging. But I have done that, and there's a place in Philadelphia where a longtime fan of mine named Joey McGowan, he booked me there a couple of years ago, and then later, like November of this last year, and he booked me there to play at the Malilani Cafe, if anybody is familiar with that in Philadelphia. And so those have been like little kind of smaller venues, and usually when there are open mic nights, I love playing open mic nights, usually because like I walk in there and I'm most of the time the only female performer. And one time I actually had somebody come up to me, and at the time I was married and my then husband was with me, and this guy came up to me and he said, "Oh, is your boyfriend performing?"
Wow.
And I'm thinking, excuse me? Excuse me? And so I actually calmly said to him, actually, my husband is sitting over there, and I'm number 7 on the list. And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm so sorry." But just this implication that like, oh, the girl's only there because she's there to support the dude, or she's the groupie or something. Like, no, I'm performing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Come on now. Yeah, it's annoying. I feel you there. That's got to be so annoying. But it's cool that you have had these moments. Like giving the discrimination aside, I guess. But
they're few and far between, and like I just kind of roll with it when I do get it.
No, they just don't know any better. You know, it's just like, come on, it's like, guy, look. I mean, I don't know who said this to you, but if it was a guy, look. Just because I can perform music too. Like, let me show you, and you have, and it's been terrific. Like,
Thank you.
Here's a question: are you classically trained? Because you do have a really good. Oh, okay, great. That tracks. Because like what I've heard so far, it's been very pinpoint. I'm very
Well,
impressed.
yeah, because you tuned into my stream last week, and I don't remember what song I was performing, but oh no, I think it was my song "Standing on Sand," which has this part at the end where like speaking of like the classical stuff, like a lot of the stuff that Charlotte has taught me is about like support, especially like your diaphragm down here. And so people don't see on my streams, I'm like getting up, squeezing my butt and holding in my stomach. I am like rooted in everything. Because if you don't do that and you're trying to go for a note like that, it's just, you're not going to have like the right fuel, really. You're not going to have the fuel to get it out there. But yes, I am classically trained. I started taking voice lessons when I was 16, and that was like the root of a lot of the singing I learned. And then I kind of unlearned a lot of that when I got in my 20s and I started writing my own music, and I realized that singing classically over rock music doesn't really work unless you're Nightwish or Within Temptation or something like that. Neither of which I am. Although I will say Nightwish put on a great show. It was absolutely awesome to see them a couple of years ago. But yes, I am. And I try to, I try to incorporate a lot of the kind of the warm-ups and some of the technique in what I do, because it really helps with preserving this.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's really great. And so I mentioned that your originals. You also have an original album out called Never Enough Flowers, which is available on all the things. So I certainly it's available at that's really great. Tell us, to folks who are tuning into it for the first time, what is this album about?
This album is about, it's the journey of a woman figuring out who she is and being happy with it. And a lot of that journey has been me coming out. Like I had kind of suspected things for a long time. Like I'll sometimes joke like, oh, hashtag should have known, your kind of little things. But a lot of my journey of like being comfortable with myself and who I am, even like as a singer, who I am as a person, and also realizing that I am the L in LGBT. And being comfortable with that and not like beating myself up over it. Because I mean, that's something that a lot of people kind of experience, is like they feel shameful of their feelings. And so a lot of songs on this album are about being happy with who you are and just embracing that. And one of my favorites from the album is called Kerosene. And that one is just about anybody. Like it could be man, woman, an NB, could be anybody. Just they're going out and they're living their lives and being happy with who they are. The album closer is called The Heart of the Night, and that one I don't quite perform as much because it's kind of difficult to do technique-wise, because I'm like flipping between like belting and head voice and all this other like techniques that are like, I have to be really rooted. I have to practically do push-ups before I do that song.
Wow.
And that one... And that song is about like kind of giving into who you are and letting it out and not being afraid of it.
Oh man.
And that's what a lot of the songs are about. It's like, it's growing up, it's being happy with who you are. And the title track, Never Enough Flowers, was inspired by a concert I went to a couple of years ago. I went to see a Christian artist I liked. There's not a lot of Christian artists I really like, but I like Plum. And I went to see her live, and I saw these two women just like in the back of the church. This was at a church where I saw Plum. There were these two women in the back of the church, and I saw them just holding each other, and they were being affectionate and very sweet with each other. And you could tell that they were a couple, but they were like hiding way back in the shadows so nobody could see them. And so I wrote this song about them, and just like, yeah, right? I mean, they were so sweet with each other. But just they were hiding back there, and I had come downstairs to like hear to so I could get a better sound and everything, and I saw them, never said anything, but just that they were hiding, that they had to hide because they knew they were probably going to get kicked out, and that just seemed so wrong to me. And I wrote this song about not just them, but for everybody. Like there are never enough flowers for this life. There are never enough people who are unafraid to be who they are and just let themselves bloom. And just
Yeah.
Let people see who they are. Like and it can be a frightening thing. It can be very vulnerable. But that's what a lot of the album is for me. And I hope that if maybe somebody else who's gone through similar things can find something. They're like, hey, I've been there, I've done there, made the album and bought the t-shirt. So, it's okay. You're going to get through it.
It's a wonderful message. Absolutely. I mean, to comment on that, it's huge. And I think it means a lot when you can speak on, as not only as a member of such of the community, but, on behalf of it, just to defend like the right to love. Like life, I always feel like love is love. Why do I care? Like how it happens. I don't think we should discriminate over that. Yeah. Oh, Aaron is in the chat. Oh my goodness, our friend Aaron is in the chat. Aaron Renee 666 was our first mod of the Sandwich Show. Great friend of the show. And before
hello.
This is Cecily Music, Aaron, and she's a singer-songwriter and also an interpreter by day. And quite a story. And as we were talking about earlier, she mentioned earlier the being a part of the LGBTQIA community and standing up for same. And we all do here on the Sandwich Show. Just so that doesn't need to be said, but we will say it anyway because like I said, it's we're all everybody should be welcome here. That's sort of my point. But so let's talk a bit about well, it is about that time for sandwiches. Do you need some time to get your sandwich?
Oh, goodness. Right. I probably need to make my sandwich.
If you need a little time, that's fine. I can take the moment to do some announcements.
Okay, I do.
Okay, cool. Super cool. Yeah. But thanks for that. So let me go and we'll go to single screen for a second. And we'll wait for her to come back. While we do, big announcement for everybody here in the chat. So we've been teasing it on various platforms for a while. And it is time to make it official. We introduce to you the first ever sandwich orchestrated streamfest, which I call Borkfest 2022. Cecily Music will be in it, and so will Aaron, and so will bass clarinets, and so will the Stream Scribe, and so will the Creative Star, and the LG Music, Island Vibing Presents, Abby C Music, Dream On Music, Tin Tam Gaming, Half Pint Carry, C-Dub Guitar, Boy and the Bard, and Dream On Music will be the closer on this entire exciting day of streams, which will go from beginning to end. It's a full day. It is a full day. And you did say orchestrated, right? Yes, I did. but yeah, for more information about Borkfest and who's going to be on it and when it's going to all happen, go to our Discord, and it's right here, and check it out. We're so excited to do this, and I want to thank everybody who's reached out, and the ones who have also responded to, like, who've also who've offered time to do this. I really think it's going to be a great chance to showcase everybody that we enjoy here on Twitch, and it is just a tremendous lineup, and we have a couple more slots to fill in. I think we may get a couple more streamers added to this, and as we probably might have to, some people might not make it by the time the Streamfest comes around, but for the most part, this is going to be the lineup, and it's going to be an awesome one. I'm very excited, and so the exact schedule and times are to be determined. We will get that for you pretty soon, but this is a very exciting moment, and Cecily, you had a Streamfest appearance on Together Wherever before we do Sandwich of the Week. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, you mean doing the Together Wherever stream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm actually probably in about another minute or so. I'll have to flip over the thing, but anyway.
Okay, no worries.
But no, actually, it was a lot of fun. It was my first time doing a raid train, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a smaller streamer, so yeah, I felt like that would be a good way to get myself out there. And I just always performing, like any kind of opportunity for performing.
Mm-hmm.
I always have a lot of fun, and I got to really enjoy some really cool other streamers. October Ember in particular, I think they were the ones who played before me, and I was listening to her voice, and I'm just going, oh my God, you can sing anything to me. Hi. It's so pretty. It was just like ethereal, and I loved it because I like the ethereal lady voices. So yeah, it was very pretty. It was so, a lot of fun.
I love that so much. Okay, so I'll let you flip over your sandwich, and we'll go back to get back to you in a sec. So I have another announcement to make, and that is, if you guys like chaos and suffering, you can catch the LG Music, myself, Brad Lauren Ipsum, and the Great Hippo on the Death Nut Challenge tomorrow at Irene Pena Music at 11:30 Eastern Time. And it's very late, so I know that a number of people in the Eastern and Central time zones probably won't make the show, and that's understandable. But if you can, that's great. If you cannot, the good thing is there will be a VOD of this program the next day. So we are very and look, speak of the Death Nut, look who's in the chat. Irene, welcome in. Shout out to Irene Pena Music, of course. So good to see you coming in from the shadows to announce, to witness the announcement of what should be a really fun program. It'll probably be more fun for everybody watching than for all of us partaking in the challenge, but we love it. We also have some goals that we'll be presenting during the stream, and it should be a really, really fun death watch. And Pinball says it will be spicy for sure. It really will. Like, it's gonna be a night. It's gonna be a night. So I highly recommend it. Death Nut Challenge 3.0. Now, just to be clear, the Death Nut is Death Nut 3.0. The challenge is challenge number 1 for all of us. So it's not, we didn't do this 2 other times. This is our first attempt at doing this together. But regardless, it should be very exciting for a lot of us. And we'll see how well we do. We've discussed the parameters and the ground rules and everything. And it should be a really fun time. And I look forward. It should be quite a show. Irene Pena Music. Shout out to Irene. Let me go ahead and let me just go ahead and do it. Let me go ahead and do the command. So there's Irene Pena Music's channel. Follow the channel, and then tomorrow night, late night, we'll be on and we'll be trying some spicy nuts. We'll see how it goes. So good times. Let me see. I'm gonna just check and make sure my piano. Yeah, looks like we got it. So I can't wait to do that. It'll be really fun. Of the 4 of us, we figure the odds-on favorite to handle the challenge the best is Hippo. And then I think it gets interesting. Maybe Brad will, because he already did a Death Nut Challenge before. And we'll take it from there. Do not let Irene eat the spicy. So one of the goals, I think we agreed to this. If we get to level 5 on the hype train, or is it just do we get to the hype train? I forget which one it is. But if we get to the hype train, and I assume it's get to level 5 too, Irene will have the level 1 Death Nut. So please contribute if you can to the show. But we don't want to hurt Irene Pena. We would rather not. Oh, absolutely, Aaron. March is shaping up to be a fun month indeed. And Irene says, "Oh, the only time I don't want a hype train." That's fantastic. Okay, so is your sandwich ready to go, Cecily?
Yes, it is.
All right, so I'll do the intro really quickly. It's time for everyone's the staple of this sandwich show, and we call it the sandwich of the week. And we're back, and we have a new sandwich, and it's from our friend Cecily. What do we have tonight, Cecily?
Well, we have here, this is actually on an English muffin made with rice flour, because I've been trying to do the whole gluten-free kind of thing. And it is on a rice, it's made of rice flour with three things of turkey and some pepper jack cheese and some mustard.
Ooh, what kind of mustard? That sounds really great.
Just regular mustard, like regular bright yellow mustard. This kind you put on your hot dog and you...
I love it a lot.
Do it just like that.
Perfect. Well, that's a great looking sandwich. And you got so much going on with it, like 3 layers, like several layers of cheese and turkey. Look at that. Oh, pepper jack cheese is a good call. Oh, that's a good call. That looks good.
See, I used to not like spicy stuff, and now I love it.
Love it. Good. It's a good segue because tomorrow we'll be doing some spicy stuff on Irene's channel. So let me show you what I've got. And here it is. So I've got a grilled cheese sandwich, and it's not just grilled cheese because I've done that already. This is a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. So we've added some ham to the proceedings. If you can see it there. There we go.
I can, and it looks yummy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So what I did with the sandwich tonight, a little different than normal. Usually I do it with butter. I usually use butter on the pan. Tonight I used olive oil just to save time, but it also comes off really nicely. So this is, I'm really excited about this. And one more thing I'm going to do. It really is bacon and cheese in all essence, right?
That's Tabasco.
Yeah. Tabasco.
Yeah, man.
It's absolutely going down. So I need to prep myself. So I'm training for the spicy death nut challenge. So I'm going to put some Tabasco in here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm with Irene. She said,
dude,
your
my stomach.
Yeah, man.
I'm here for it. That's the thing. I'm here for it. I want it. Let's go. So I'm putting it in here right now. So I'll just toss that in. Tabasco's not that big a deal. I can do this. I can do this all day.
It's really not. No, it's not. I could too. In fact, I actually eat Tabasco sauce if I have a cold because it clears the shit up.
Nice. Mm-hmm. It really does. Like the thing about spicy food is really cool. And I noticed this yesterday when I was having tacos. Spicy food, really good for the sinuses. You got shit in your nose, it's gone. Like that's always nice. It's better than Roto-Rooter.
It's better than Roto-Rooter. I love that.
And because you're from California originally, you get that joke. That's really great.
Ish. No, actually, I'm actually not from California. My parents are from California.
Oh, okay. Did they Roto-Rooter in Virginia?
But yeah, they came back and they came back to the East Coast in the early '80s before I was born.
Oh, okay. I got you now. But Roto-Rooter.
But I have.
Oh, go ahead.
But I have been to California several times because that's where a lot of my my mom and dad's family still live.
Yeah, I like it. Aaron says, "Davey, do not just shoot the hot sauce like Tin Tam, please. No. I don't see the value in that, Aaron. I really don't. But I like that Tin Tam does it though. Good credit to him for that. And just to repeat for everybody who's tuning in late, while we eat these sandwiches, Borkfest 2022 is happening April 1st this year. April Fool's Day. That's right. All day. We're going to have a lot of great streamers here joining us. And what I was asking folks to do is to do something on their stream that they don't normally do. It doesn't have to be for the entire stream, just for like a part of it. So I'm very excited to see how people will switch up their streams and what will they do differently than they normally do on their respective streams. I'm really excited to find out. So,
indeed.
Yeah. How's your sandwich, Cecily?
It's pretty good. Although I didn't realize that like the English muffin, I heated it up in the microwave for like 2 minutes, and now it's like hard as rocks.
Ooh. Oops.
Oopsie, but that's okay. I'll probably just like eat around it. Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Yeah, this one's really nice. I got so melty and the cheese and the Tabasco. It's all coming together. Good one. Now, Hippo says a chili tomato-based hot sauce would go with that sandwich better than a vinegar-based like Tabasco. Interesting. I should try that. Hippo. It makes
I'm gonna have to try that too.
I totally see where he's coming from, because if you think about how popular tomato soup is with a grilled cheese sandwich, that would really fit. And Aaron, as far as Borkfest, yeah, the good thing is we got a month to prepare, so it's very exciting stuff. I have not decided if I'm doing a show yet. I didn't plan to. I should. I might. Probably delete it off, I guess, just so I can kind of introduce people to the streamfest. So I might do it at the beginning. I'll be off all day. I'm planning that day off, so. I mean, pitching the death nut to Aaron. Oh my goodness, no.
Absolutely not.
Not happening. Absolutely not. I gotta talk to Irene too because I was curious if she might have some tips as to how to organize that, and I wouldn't be against. I mean, Irene, I don't think do you normally stream on Fridays? I've never really thought to ask that. I know you do on Wednesday, and Saturday. But maybe we'll talk about that privately. But let me know. Well, I meant to talk to you about that today. But yeah. I have a weak little baby mouth. Spicy no go well, says Aaron. That's great.
Let my parents are saying, let us know when this is. Don't worry, Mom and Dad. This is February, or not February. Blah. We're done with February. April 1st. April 1st, right?
April the 1st. Yeah.
Yeah. April 1st, Mom and Dad.
I love it. Yeah. And we're just lining up the times and everything. It should be really good. What do I need? It's gonna probably. I'll message you. I'll explain. But I think there might be some spots, but we got so much demand for the primetime spots. I was kind of hoping to get Irene in there too somewhere, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where. So well, we can talk about that. Yeah, let me know. But meanwhile, folks, Irene Pena Music tomorrow night. Totally worth it if you can stay up late enough for it. Be really good. Yeah. It's so great. English muffins are good.
Yeah, and actually the bread is like way too like it is so hard. It's like I think I take a tooth. That's okay. This has been the trouble with some of the gluten-free stuff is that it's like no, it doesn't want to do what you want it to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna eat this kind of like a Swedish sandwich where it's like open faced.
Nice. Can do it. It will be easier in the teeth, I think.
Just a little bit, especially because this side has the mustard, so hopefully it softened it a little bit.
Oh yeah. So more on the Borkfest to come, I'm sure. Definitely. And stay tuned on Instagram as well for more on that. My Instagram's at Davies Eating a Sandwich, same handle as here. So should be really great. But yeah, it's I thank you. I think first of all I thank the sandwich community for coming together, just being the cool people you are, and having these being there for these shows. It's really fun. And I'm always curious how people find us. But with Cecily, it was pretty obvious. It's just we were in her channel. And she, and I guess you found out somewhere in the middle of that I was a talk show host, and you do a talk show too. Like you have a podcast, and
yes, I do. Nice segue.
I love it. Yeah, and it sounds like it's a really good one. Like it's a podcast dedicated to Kate Bush. Tell us some more about it.
So, Kate Bush is my queer diva. Like she's like my big inspiration, and her music has meant a lot to me. I started getting into her music in like 2005-ish. It was actually when her first album in 12 years was going to be released, and it just, this is very convenient. I've become a fan right as the new album is coming out, so I haven't had to wait 12 years for this. But she's been my favorite. She's been with me ever since then. She's been with me through most of college. My first study abroad experience, it was very hard to find a lot of her music in the United States at that point. And so I bought a lot of her albums overseas, bought them on CD and had them shipped from France to the United States. So she's someone whose music means a lot to me. It's definitely become a part of my soul. Like she's a real big inspiration for me. And I know for many other people, especially other LGBTQ folks. And I had started listening to this other podcast called Drive All Night, the Songs of Tori Amos. And so Tori Amos is another favorite of mine. Like, hey, see, it is possible to be fans of both. Because sometimes within the one community, like the Kate Bush fans will say, oh, no, we don't like Tori Amos. And then Tori Amos will say, nah, we don't like Kate Bush. They sound too much like each other. Like, a lot of infighting. And it's like, guys, they're women and they play piano and they're slightly eccentric. Like there's no similarity between the two of you guys. What the hell? But Kate Bush has always just been with me. And I got this idea after I was inspired by this Tori Amos podcast where it's these two guys going through every song that Tori has ever done. And Tori is really prolific. Like, they're going to be still going like 30 years later. I swear. This woman keeps writing a lot of stuff. And she's pretty consistent. Kate Bush has not been that. So I got this idea of, you know what? Somebody should do that for Kate Bush. Because a lot of her songs are so interesting, and a lot of her references, or like just knowing stuff beyond just the big hits. Like a lot of people know Wuthering Heights. A lot of people know Running Up That Hill, whether you know it as the original or if you know it as a cover, or This Woman's Work. Again, either the original or Maxwell covering it. And there's just so much within her music. And I thought, why don't I try and do a podcast where I go through every song she's ever done? And I started it in 2017. I am now I'm finishing up the 6th season of my show. And so I go through all the album songs, and then I do like any B-sides, and then I do any collaborations. So like other people's songs that she's sung on, like she's done a lot with Peter Gabriel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like Don't Give Up. A lot of people also know that one. Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. And she's also sung with Midjor, Ultravox, since you like Ultravox. She sang on one of his solo songs.
Ooh.
Which I'm going to be talking about in 2 weeks.
Whoa.
So I'm going through all songs that she's done, and I try to get a fan for each episode because it's more interesting to talk with people about why this Kate Bush song is their favorite. And it's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's really cool just meeting other Kate fans because, Kate Bush doesn't tour. She doesn't have like the big community of people who follow her around on tour like Tori. Like with Tori. Like Tori tours all the time. And there are just these groups of people who just, I don't know, they somehow have insane amounts of money. I don't know how the fuck they do this. But they just go follow her around on tour, and like people just kind of know each other. And Kate Bush doesn't really have that. Like she's kind of, I wouldn't say more secretive. I mean, she kind of is, but she just doesn't do the whole big celebrity game. And so for me, meeting other Kate Bush fans, like, whoa, like other people who love this music just as much as I do, and across so many different age ranges. Like I've interviewed people who have been there with her since the beginning, since the 70s, to people my age, like in their 30s and 20s, and sometimes even younger. Like I've interviewed some teenage fans because they just found her on YouTube or something like that, which just blows my mind. Because I'm like, you know how hard it was to find this stuff when I was your age? Oh, God, I'm one of those. When I was your age. Hey, kids, get off my lawn, And so I have this show about her. It's called Strange Phenomena, the Music of Kate Bush. I am about to drop this week. I'm going to drop the first collaboration episode of the Sensual World season. And the Sensual World was released in October of 1989. It's her 6th studio album. It was her follow-up to Hounds of Love, which is where most people think that she peaked with that. No. She's got such beautiful music too. But I'm going to be talking about a collaboration she did with Go West, who were
I remember that.
mainly known.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you Go West. Well, she did a song with them called "The King Is Dead." It's very jazzy, like very interesting. Like I had never even heard of this song until I was like pulling up like a list of like all the stuff Kate Bush has been on. I'm like, I've never heard "The King Is Dead." What is this? What? So that's the episode I'm going to be dropping this week. And then next week will be Midjor. And then after that, it will be finishing up the Sensual World with a Roy Harper song. And then I'm going to start doing The Red Shoes. So that's her album that she released in 1993 before she went on her 12-year hiatus to just recharge her batteries, to raise her son, because she got married and had a son. Mm-hmm. And then came out with Ariel, which is also a really beautiful album. So she's such a part of like my soul, basically. And boy, if she ever found out that there was this perky little American doing the show about her and she just randomly called me, "Oh, hello, this is Kate Bush," I'd be like, Die happy right here, right here.
You passed out happy. That's so funny. Yeah, I guess that answers the question. But Irene was asking, does Kate Bush know about this show?
It would be funny if she did. Oh no, these things can happen. I mean, the Tori Amos knows about the Drive All Night, the songs of Tori Amos guys, because they actually went up to her during her last tour and were like, "Hey, Tori, we're doing this." You know, these two very enthusiastic guys. "Hey, we're going to do this thing about show about you," and I think her response to them was, "Well, that's going to be a lot of songs." It's like Tori was cool with like the Tori guys doing that, but whether Kate Bush knows about my show, I don't know. It'd be cool if she did.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we don't really know about Pump It Up. By the way, Aaron, thank you for the redeem, but we don't really know. Oh, did you do Pump It Up too? Pump It Up.
I did. Pump up
right.
the jam.
I love it. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. Yeah. You got it. So let me just step back a little bit.
Okay.
So Go West did a song, see if I had this right, called "The King of Wishful Thinking." So they also did a song called "The King Is Dead." So they had 2 songs by the King.
Oh my God! I just realized that. Shit! And I've already recorded the episode.
Isn't that
and
terrible?
I need to like insert. This is future Cecily here. Don't you think it's really cool? They have the King of Wishful Thinking is dead.
Yeah, that's great. It was a fun song though. You could totally dance it. Yeah.
And We Close Our Eyes was another one.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that one as much, but pretty good. That's pretty solid though. How's the response to your show been? Have you? I know I'm stalling for Bean Boozled, but have you had a pretty good? I think I asked this before we went on air, but has it been a good loyal following for you?
Yeah, like I've gotten a lot of different people like slowly finding the show, and especially during the pandemic. Like I didn't realize this because like I kind of slowed. I kept my output going because I think in 2020 I was at the Hounds of Love season, so those are a lot of the songs that people know about, like Running Up That Hill, Cloud Busting, which is my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite Kate Bush song is Cloud Busting. Or The Big Sky, and also the title track Hounds of Love, which is also a really awesome. It's such a beautiful song, beautiful album. I was actually listening to this on the really good speakers the other day, and it was just so beautiful. No, the response has been great. I've had a lot of people finding me during the pandemic, and people will message me and say that, "Oh, hey, I'm so glad I just found your show," or a couple other people said things like, "Oh, I found your show during the pandemic, and it's kind of what's been keeping me sane," which was like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
That's super cool, though. That's great.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's been very positive. I'll admit I was a little bit wary of doing the show in the sense that, like, I didn't want people to think that I was ever making fun of her or that I was, like, just because I'm somebody who will go, "You know what, this is not my favorite Kate Bush song, but why is it your favorite?" Or I will flat out say, "I don't really like this song very much, but you explain to me why you like it." Or I might try to, like, in when I got to the Dreaming season, which, by the way, the Dreaming is such a batshit insane album, and I love it. Like, production wise and everything, like, she just did so much stuff. Oh my gosh, you could tell she was hanging out with Peter Gabriel at that time. Like, she was doing a lot of stuff with rhythms and beats and other sorts of really interesting sounds. And I completely actually forgot where I was going because I went, "Oh, the Dreaming, yay. Ha, ha, ha." I completely forgot where I was going with that. Oh, well, we'll come back to that eventually, I guess.
No worries. But, well, this is a good opportunity to make good on the Bean Boozled redeem from Irene Pena Music. Thank you so much for the redeem, Irene. And let's go. All right. So, how do you enjoy your sandwich, Cecily? This is what we do on this channel. It was inspired by Human Juke 81, who did Bean Boozled challenges for 666 bits. I do them for free, but it does require 900.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm crazy. 999 points gets you this opportunity. So let's go see what we have tonight. Oh no. Oh, man. No. It's stink bug again. Or toasted marshmallow. I think. Because it's brown, yeah. Oh no. Alright. Pay the piper. Let's do it. Go stink bug. I love the spirit. No, that's how we want to do it. That's how you want it. That's what we got to do it. That's how we got to do it.
Do it.
All right. Damn it. Ugh. Ah. God, you can smell it too. God. Ugh. Jesus Christ, it's so bad. Ugh. Those are practice sounds for tomorrow. It's just funny. That's great. That's good. That's just the real practice, right? Like, I thought the other Tabasco thing was. No, this is the real. Oh God, it's so awful. It's so fucking. Oh, it's so awful. Oh, so fucking awful. So awful. Oh, God.
At least it's done now.
Yeah, that's what you think. This taste permeates the mouth, and I'm with it. I'm stuck with it for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It's so bad. Ugh. It will go away at some point. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good, Irene. Much love to you as well, Irene, and Hippo and everybody, and Evie too. Thank you for the redeem. No, it like as I say before, as I always say, it's all in the name of content. So I'm happy to redeem even in the painful moments. Wash it down with some durian.
Oh God!
Pinball. My God. Oh, that's an experience. Okay, so mods, can we open the queue? Exclamation point open queue. And that means because it is time for the chat to chip in on this program. And we'd love to hear from you and have a question for Cecily Music as we start once again. Thank you very much, Aaron. America's favorite moment in... God, this taste. In Twitch broadcasting.
To the dance. It's time for random questions. Good stuff. Ask us anything.
And tonight's ASCII is Cecily Music. Let's do it. So if you have a question for us, exclamation point question, followed by the question itself. And that can include the question. And we'll explain what it is once we get it. The question is a big topic here on the Sandwich Show. In between questions, we can talk about 80s new wave, synth pop, classic alternative. Oh, there you go. Irene's in on this too. Oh, I love this. This is great. Irene, thank you for the question. Great start.
Okay, so do I just go on ahead and answer that?
Depeche Mode song, favorite Depeche Mode song of inspiration. Yeah, what is it? Oh, Aaron has a question too, but we'll get to that right after.
Okay, favorite Depeche Mode song of inspiration. Well, I find that a lot of their songs have fit kind of different moods. But lately, I will say like the latest Depeche Mode song that's inspired me was their song Wrong, which is kind of one of their more recent ones. And it has a really cool video. It shows someone driving and they're kind of going backwards and like stuff is happening. And I think it's supposed to kind of represent like the things that we do to our, the things that kind of happen with our mental health. But I was listening to that song and it inspired me to write one of my more angsty songs. Actually, it was the new song. I think, Dave, you were listening when I said I had a new song.
I think so, yeah.
It was the song that inspired that. Because I wanted to like listen to their most the angstiest of their songs that I could think of. And that inspired me. So, Depeche Mode, Wrong.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, angst, yep.
They've always kept it going, you know. They've got about 3 or 4 decades with some quality music, so it's a pretty great journey for them and a great career. So thanks for the question, Irene. Really great. I'll follow up on that momentarily, but first, Aaron has the question, which is: Pancakes, French toast, waffles, or crepes. We actually have a crepes command now, so we can do any of those. Which one do you want? Which one sounds good to you?
Oh my god. Like, you asking me like how I feel in the moment, or which of those is my favorite?
Which of those is your favorite?
Waffles.
Waffles, interesting. Cool, okay.
I mean, I do like crepes, but I'm gonna say waffles because that's it. I got the nice maker and everything, you know. And actually, also made some chocolate waffles, my partner and I, a couple weekends ago, and it was awesome.
Love it. Look at the battle right now. So waffles is in a dead heat with French toast, 8-8. So that's the score right now. All the people who've chimed in on this question. I read this right. Exclamation point, Riot. Oh, that's great. I love it. So, very cool. Thank you for the question, Aaron. A heck of a job. Great job putting that in there. And, and I've said before, like, I've never actually answered the question up until recently, and my answer is pancakes. I actually like pancakes a lot because what you can do with them, like, you can put chocolate chips in them. You can put strawberries on top of them, peaches, bananas. You can put, like, banana nuts in them. A lot of different things you can do with pancakes, so that's why I like pancakes a lot. And Aaron, I should mention, is a big fan of French toast, and for good reason. French toast is amazing. Like, there's no argument there. It's really good. But
yeah, it's been a while since I've had French toast, but I like French toast too.
Yeah, I think you're right, Aaron. We do need to add crepes to the counter for these other ones. Like, there is a crepes counter, but we need to, like, put it in the other ones. You know, like, so I will definitely. I know how to do it too, so I'll go ahead and do that after the show. So I completely agree. Yeah, good call. Yeah. No, there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can add things on top. It's really, really fun. So, so if you have a question for us, exclamation point question followed by the question itself, and go ahead and throw those in. We'll go for the next hour or so, and we'll find someone to raid. It should be really fun. So, back to Depeche Mode. What is your favorite? What's your favorite album of theirs?
Well, okay. Kind of reviewing my head. Music for the Masses.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's such a public. That's a public choice. That's interesting. Okay.
It's a tie between that and Some Great Reward.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
But I also, like, for a while I was really into Ultra. Like, they've got like so many different songs for a lot of different moods. And I also really like A Broken Frame. Like, a lot of people don't kind of dismiss that album, but my all-time favorite Depeche Mode song is The Sun and the Rainfall, which is a wonderful closer. Booyah, drop the mic. That's my favorite.
Nice. Cool. No, that's a great answer. And I would have expected nothing less from a huge fan of Depeche Mode as yourself. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. But I know I've yet to see them live. Like, I wanted to see them live when they were on the Spirit Tour in 2017, but it was the school night, and the nearest venue was in DC, and I was down here 3 hours away. Couldn't do it. But I know, Irene, you were there at 101. I remember you saying, I'm like, jealous, but yay. Oh my gosh, that must have been amazing.
That is really cool. Irene, that's awesome. I'm glad you were a part of that. 101. Super cool. Yeah, it's really... It's just such a fun journey. And Irene, amazing since you're here, we'd love to hear your answer to that question too. What's your favorite? What's your favorite Depeche Mode album? Yeah, but Music for the Masses, for those unfamiliar, was a late '80s album, and they had a lot of like radio hits. Like Strange Love was one. Mm-hmm. You know,
Never Let Me Down Again.
Yeah, Never Let Me Down Again. Is Personal Jesus part of that, or is that later? Or is it
that one came after. That was for Violator, which was the follow-up.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But that's one I know that a lot of people know of. Like, my partner knows Personal Jesus, and I think that's, like, the only one of hers. She's heard other songs because I've been playing them around the house, so she knows them.
Oh, of course.
But she knows that one, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's really great. Like, if I were to answer that, I don't know where I'd go with that. That's tough. I probably would actually just agree with you on that, to be honest, because you have to consider not just like when were they kind of hitting their notes, hitting their stride, and I think that's about the point they were doing it. Like, People Are People was like a little before that, like it's like the album before, like 2 albums before.
Yeah, that was Some Great Reward, which was their was their breakthrough in the United States chart wise. Like they've been charting pretty well. They've been charting okay in the UK up to that point, but People Are People was like their first top 40 hit in the United States.
When I was young, when I was like in junior high, I think Speak and Spell was my favorite Depeche Mode album, but I was not as sophisticated. My tastes were not as sophisticated as they are today. But it was a very fun, bouncy album, and the distinction, of course, is that Vince Clarke was on the band like those early years, and then he left, and then they formed he formed Erasure with like Andy Bell, right? But it's a very it doesn't even sound like a Depeche Mode album. It's so different, but I think since then it's just been such a great, like such a rich musical experience. And you mentioned Violator, which is like really good. Like that's.
And Violator also has like one of my all-time favorite B-sides is from that era, Sea of Sin.
Yeah.
It was a B-side for World in My Eyes, which is one of their songs that I've done a girl and piano version of. And a lot of their stuff is fun to do, like girl and piano version of, because like my voice is so different from Dave Gahan's very deep.
Of course.
So, and also I'm playing piano, and also like it kind of highlights like I know that they were derided at the time for like, oh, well, they just press a button and it just writes itself and blah, 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 blah. Synth pop is hard to do. It's harder to do than you think it is, and it's hard to do it well. And their songs, like, by kind of stripping away a lot of the electronics and just getting to, like, the melody and the words, like, a lot of their songs work really well in that way, so.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Like, I've heard, like, acoustic versions of Enjoy the Silence as an example. And it's great. It's great. So it just goes to show you it's just a solid songwriting effort by Martin Gore and company, like all the way through. And it just kind of kept going for like several decades. All right, so this is from Pinball Sorcerer. The question, how much would you say the visual aspects of Kate... This is a great question. How much would you say the visual aspect of Kate Bush music videos factor in at all to her fandom?
Oh my God, I would say it's a huge part of it. Like because she is such a visual artist, very much like Bjork. Like I'm not a huge fan. I'm not huge into Bjork. Although what I hear of her, like I can hear a direct line from Kate Bush to her. Like the way that you kind of use their voices and they're kind of wild and going like wild with abandon and everything with it. But I would say it factors in hugely because. Like I'm just thinking of stuff like the most Wuthering Heights Day ever, and I've never participated in those, but in a couple of major cities around the world, people will get together usually around Kate Bush's birthday, which is July 30. 30 days has September, April, June, November, all this. July 31st, I think it is. July 30th, July 31st, and they'll get together, and all these people will be dressed in the red dress. From the red dress version of Wuthering Heights. Yes. Yeah, they're all dressed in together, crazy. Like men, women, everyone in between. And they're all just like dancing and choreographed like to all of her moves.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
So I would say that definitely the visuals play a part of it, which makes it all those more sad that this woman will not release the damn Before the Dawn DVD.
Wow, really?
She did this residency in 2014, and like the only kind of real beef I have with this woman is the fact that she filmed these concerts that I really wanted to go to, but it was like this awkward time of year where the school year was starting, and also like getting over to London and staying there and all that. And I really wanted to see them, and you have to kind of go off of bootlegs if you can find them. And it's just such a visually rich show. Like it's more than just a rock concert. You're going to having a whole big theatrical experience, and the woman will not release the damn DVD, and that is like my biggest beef with her.
I mean, that's such an interesting. Yeah, I mean, has she stated why she wouldn't release it?
there's been several reasons. One of them is that she wasn't happy with some of her vocals, which I'm like, okay, woman, what the hell? You can still sing. It sounds so beautiful. And then the other is like, well, I just don't think it's the same as actually being there. And she actually, in some interview a couple of years ago, like somebody asked her, well, are you ever going to release this? And she said that her favorite live albums were the ones where you get to just imagine what's going on as you're listening to this. And I'm thinking, seriously? When like you listen to the Before the Dawn audio, and it's obvious that there's stuff going on stage. Like you hear people like cheering and stuff for whatever's coming on stage, and you're like, why are these people cheering? What's going on? I want to see what's going on. And what pictures I have seen of the show, oh my God, it's so beautiful and so visual.
Huh. We really missed out. But I think you've hit it on the nose, Pinball. Like her visual element, and this goes down to like her hand gestures and her dancing. It is mesmerizing. Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. I don't know. Can I actually do this? I think I can put it in the chat. I'm going to put the... you know what's interesting? You mentioned the red dress. She did 2 versions of the Wuthering Heights video. She did one in a black dress, too.
White dress.
Oh, I'm sorry. White dress. Excuse me. But...
Yeah, she did one in a white dress and a red dress. But the red dress, like when people dress up for the most Wuthering Heights day ever, it's always the red dress. Which, I mean, is a beautiful dress. Mm-hmm. And that's one where... The white dress, she's in a studio, and it's like doing like all these different really cool 70s effects, especially with her doing cartwheels. And then the one in the red dress is her actually out in a field,
right,
like doing her gestures.
Which one do you like more?
I like the red dress one better because I also really like that dress, and I want to make it.
That dress is something, though, no doubt. So I'm gonna put the red dress version in the chat for those who are unfamiliar. And particularly if you're watching on the VOD. So that's the red dress version. I first saw the white dress version a long old time ago.
Me too.
Yeah. And I think I first saw it on the it's a story. There's a whole story. But it's a really fun video. Like I advise checking it out. And isn't it based on a book? Like Wuthering Heights is a book?
You know, here's how I first heard of Kate Bush. It's because when I was in 8th grade, I was obsessed with the book Wuthering Heights.
Ah, okay.
And I was curious as to whether there were any songs about my favorite book. And so I remember like typing in like some sort of search. I typed in Wuthering Heights, and I found this song by this Kate Bush I'd never heard of. And I listened to the song, and I was kind of like, what was that I just heard? And I kept seeing her name kind of crop up, especially with like some of the 80s alternative stuff I was listening to. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite stations when I was in college and they're still around, it's called Flashback Alternatives. Mm-hmm. And you hear a lot of underground music, and Kate Bush's music would appear on there frequently. And I just started to like go like, oh yeah, I would hear a song here and there like, oh, well, this is interesting. Oh, this is interesting. And then it just clicked one day, and I just suddenly realized, oh my God, I'm obsessed. So I heard of her through Wuthering Heights, which I know is how a lot of people first heard her, especially back in the day, except I just heard it, 23 years later, something like that.
Right. Well, yeah, it's kind of a similar story. Like I definitely didn't hear it when it came out. It was way
I wasn't
before
even born yet.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. So, no, terrific story. Yeah. I understand there was also like a TV special about it that came out in the late 70s, which I think that's how other people found out about it.
Well, she did do a Christmas special, which is, oh my God, like camptastic. I love it.
Is it really?
And actually, my friend, so I met another Kate Bush fan through doing my show, and she's been on my show frequently, and she lives in New York, and she's a young Kate fan like me, and we also talk outside of the podcast too. And we've decided like at some point, like, I want to come up to see her. She wants to come down here. We're going to meet, and like we've decided we're going to do some sort of like live episode where like, hey, like these two people who have been on the show, like we're actually meeting in person. and we did an episode where we watched the Kate Bush Christmas special together, and we did live commentary, and it was so much fun.
Wow, so much fun. I love it. Yeah. See, that's really cool. I love that this is a thing. Like, I think it's great to keep that legacy alive. That's really cool. So much continued success to your podcast. That is great.
Thank you.
I love it. I love that there are podcasts about artists, and going through her song is very interesting. And you always wonder, well, what's going to happen when you reach the end of that, like the end of her catalog? What would you do? Would you keep going? Like, would you just revisit certain songs?
What I might do is do other episodes like, oh, these are our favorite, like, in general, music videos.
Oh, okay.
Or if I happen to get a hold of someone who worked with her. Like, I have, unfortunately, there have been a couple of people that I've reached out to for the show, and they haven't written back to me, but that's okay. Like, they're probably really busy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's okay. But probably, like, little mini-sodes, or whenever she releases new music, hopefully she doesn't wait another 12 freaking years to do it, although at this point, actually, it's been 11 years. What am I saying?
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Kate, come on, work with me, man. But no, I was just like, it kind of pop up, like do like some sort of special about like favorite music videos or instrumentals or something like that, or whenever she releases new music.
Dig it. Well, I mean, it could happen. I mean, never say never, and I'll tell you why. Because ABBA just released a new album, and I thought that was never going to happen. It's like, wow. I was like, wow. You know, so you never know. Other arts acts, yeah, we could go on. Like I said, I was saying, we were having a good conversation before we started the stream. So you want to, yeah, we're going to step into Ultravox a little bit. Yeah, Ultravox is really emotional band. Boy, good band, right? Yeah.
Oh my God. So like they're like a group I've been getting into through the pandemic.
Okay.
And like I started getting into them a little bit beforehand. I got the Vienna album, and that's still like my favorite song of theirs is Vienna.
It's great.
It's
oh my gosh.
so, I know,
Yeah,
right? Like
same,
it's so
same.
emotional. I love the way it builds. I also love the Live Aid performance that they did, because you can also hear, like, at the end, you can kind of hear like the synthesizer go. You can kind of hear it like that a little bit. And it's so cool.
They can do that live? I thought that was just like an effect in post. That's interesting. I didn't.
No, like if you go there is, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can find the performance of them doing Vienna.
Yeah,
and you can
absolutely.
hear at the end after he's doing his belty thing, and then the doom, 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 and you can hear the synthesizer that's droning this F, because the song is in F major.
Yeah.
And so it's just droning. As the people are like clapping.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Fun fact: when people say Vienna, that's the first. Everybody else thinks it's a Billy Joel song, but I actually think of that song.
Oh,
first.
I know, right?
It's like Vienna. That's okay. This song is great. Like Vienna, good stuff. Do you play that on your stream or no?
No, I haven't played it in a while,
okay.
But I can do it acoustically, because there's a version that Midjor did solo, him and a guitar, for Irish TV, and man, that guy can still sing. Like, oh my God, like Midjor, I love his voice. It's so distinctive, and I love it. Yeah.
No, I just mean compared to. Just me clarify position. Vienna Vienna's a terrific song. It's a good song. It's a good song, but compared to the Ultravox version, it's not the same song. Just to be clear, Mon, welcome. Thank you for the 500 bits. Thank you so much. My goodness, Mon, pop it up. I was on Mon's channel yesterday. We were having tacos and having a good time. It was really fun. Shout out Mon Samurki. As I mentioned, a very, very cool artist, and I kind of do though. It is a really, really clever song though. I really enjoy it. I enjoy Vienna. I mean, I enjoyed the Billy Joel Vienna. It is a very good message, and it's catchy, and the whole thing. But I mean, the theatrics of Ultravox Vienna, it's a completely different song. Just to be clear, it's not a cover of the. They're not covers. They are a completely different song. They just have the same title. I've been heated. Oh no. I've been heated. I didn't realize you were that big of a Billy Joel fan, Aaron. How about that? That's wild. Okay. But while we sort that out, and while I beg for Aaron's forgiveness, let's share something from the room, and I have it with me actually. So let's Vermont Samerky. Thank you very much for.
While you do that, I'm gonna go quickly get some more water.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool. So I'll keep it here. So here's what I have for you, Mond and Cecily and company. It's a 2XL. Do you remember this? 2XL. So this is a trivia machine that runs off of a tape. Oh, I didn't realize that, Aaron. That's really cool. I guess well, but to be fair, that's kind of stupid that I would even ask this question because Aaron is from Levittown. That's the stupid thing for me to say. I'm sorry, Aaron. I should have thought that through. But that makes so much sense. So Billy Joel is one of the few common interests my dad and I share, so his music has always been a big part of my life, which I think is great. What's your favorite Billy Joel album, out of curiosity, Aaron? Yeah, I do not, in fact, remember that. So yeah, 2XL. So here's a big question for the chat. Is there a tape inside this 2XL machine? I'll give you guys a chance to answer, or ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, a chance to answer the question. What do you think? Is there a tape?
I say there is a tape.
All right, let's see what everyone else thinks. If the chat wins, I put in another bean. Let's find out. So let me do a poll. I'll do an official poll. Just a minute, though. So you can vote on this too, Cecily. So is there a tape?
I say there is. Moi, ma réponse c'est oui.
Oh, yes, your French is fantastic. I love it. I love it.
Oh, well, I mean, I do get paid per minute. Sometimes I know what I'm doing with it, and sometimes I don't.
Well,
especially with medical words.
Good luck, folks. So if you get it right, another bean for Davey. We'll see. So go ahead and cast your votes. I can't vote, obviously. I already know the answer. All right.
Moi, je dis oui. Ah, we have another réponse for oui.
Well, with your command of French, I'm curious as to whether you know Andy the Frenchie over on Twitch. Great channel.
I do not, but now I have heard of them, and I will go check them out.
Absolutely. I'll give you the link. Hold on a sec.
Awesome.
Aaron, if you'd be willing to shout out Andy the Frenchie. Thank you. Okay. Thanks. She's extremely hilarious, too. Really, really good performer. And so she's French-Canadian. Ergo, her command of French is quite good. Quite good. Quite good. All right. Is there a tape? Let's see.
And I end up helping a lot of French Canadians on my job. So.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yep.
Have you been to Quebec? I have to think you have been.
Yes, I've actually been once, and I've been to France twice.
Ooh, the treats in France. The food must be amazing.
Oh my god.
Really? I love it.
You want to talk sandwiches? They've got some good sandwiches there.
Oh, no doubt about it. The baguettes. Marie, the baguettes. But no, but seriously, that's great. All right, here we go. Tape or no tape? The chat says yes. There's a tape. It's a story called Chaos in Jurassic Park. It's an interactive story that came out about the time that the movie was made. This tape's about 25 or so years old. And it's in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. So Crisis in Jurassic Park is what it's called.
Chaos in
Jurassic Park.
Oh, I know a community that would appreciate this tape.
Oh. That's my partner's favorite movie, Jurassic Park.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a great movie. Apparently, and the book is obviously great too, from which the movie was based. But congratulations, chat, Sandwich Show chat. You get another bean. So let's do it. That's right, Aaron. Yeah, that's Aaron's emote, the chaos emote. I love that. That's really great. Aaron, let us know if you have a stream coming up in the next couple of days. We'd love to hang out with you. On Twitch, if it's out, if you've got the time. All right, so let's do the Bean Boozled bonus. Here we go. And thank you for the redeem. And thank you for the 500 bits, Mond. So nice of you to do that. All right. Well, it can't be Stinkbug again, so I already know this is going to be better just from that. Let's see. Oh, for the love of freaking God. Are you fucking kidding?
Is it another one?
It's another Stinkbug.
Oh, God!
Ugh, I'm sorry I've been cussing so much tonight, but these beans, I mean, seriously, like...
Oh, my God. Oh, mon Dieu. Oh...
You have enough water.
Je suis vraiment désolée pour toi. I'm really sorry for you.
It's alright, don't worry about it. I'm used to it, it's okay by now.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. Pump it up. It's the toasted marshmallow. Oh, God. I couldn't do that again. That would have been rough. Yeah, thank you. The right commands are in effect. Oh. That was terrorizing. That was terrifying for a moment there, though. Oh, my goodness. I can't even do the full pump it up. I was just so so scarred from the last run. I'm just more relieved than happy. Good times. Oh, by the way, if folks aren't familiar, we have a sandwich command, which basically does this. Inspired by Evelyn from Justin and Evelyn. Aaron, are they on tonight? I was assuming no because Justin did a solo stream yesterday, but shout out Justin and Evelyn too, of course. But back to random questions. And thank you, Cecily, for hanging with us as we did all that.
Of course.
Is that something you would do on a stream? Would you do challenges of that caliber?
You know, maybe not of that caliber, but certainly like thinking of the fact that I'm going to take part in a streamfest where you're supposed to do something you've never done on stream. I'm going to have to think of what that is. All
right. A lot of ideas out there. So it doesn't have to be jelly beans, but there are different ways you can go about it. So we encourage you to. It should be fun. So Aaron ran 866. Oh, they're not. Okay. So no Jev tonight, but Thursday they'll be back. Okay, cool. So Justin and Evelyn, another just fantastic friends of the Sandwich Show too, but they're a dueling piano duo, and they're fun, really fun. But back to our conversation and our talk of music. Zippity zip. Yeah, really. So let me just throw this link to the Vienna, because they had a music video too, didn't they? Like, even though it was like a long old time ago.
Yeah, and it was actually filmed in Vienna, and it was, I believe that when they filmed it, they specifically wanted, like, they used a different kind of film to make it look more like it was actually a movie rather than like on videotape and stuff. No, the music video is really good too. Like a lot of their music videos, the ones that they did were all really good. Like another good one is "Reap the Wild Wind." Reap the wild wind.
Yeah,
I love that one. It's a fun fact. They're only U.S. chart entry on the Billboard Hot 100.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they didn't have a lot of hits out here. No, that's true.
No, they didn't have any. They were never like the hit makers over here that they were in Europe, which I completely don't understand because their stuff would have fit in so well over here. I mean, who knows?
Oh my goodness, look who's in the chat. Mad Clean 1. Mike, it's good to see you. Can't stream during your stream. Everyone is watching you. Can't compete. Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. Let's give you a shout out, though. Hopefully we can reciprocate somewhat with a shout out. Do follow Mad Clean 1. Guitar streamer. Got some cool vibes over there. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you for that. I haven't seen CT in a bit. Hopefully CT's hanging out. CT made a pizza today. It looked really good, too. So any more questions for you folks? Exclamation point question in the queue, and we'll keep reading them out for the next few minutes. Pinball Sorcerer, what is something you think? Oh, yeah, it's a good question, right? Yeah, what is something you think the layperson should know about interpreting?
Well, I can think of several things. One, that it's harder to do than you think it is. That certain things don't always interpret well between languages, especially if you're trying to do a joke. Like if you're trying, like if I have a doctor who's trying to do some sort of cue play on words or something, and I'm just sitting here thinking, this doesn't work in the other language.
Oh wow.
Because like plays on words are not the same between languages, and certain idioms might not have the same equivalence between languages. Now, I think it would be that like that it's harder to do than you think it is, and that there are just certain things that don't work well between languages, and and also that sorry, I'm just because there are actually a lot of things, and that it's not just people at the UN who do interpreting. I am an over-the-phone interpreter, so that means like I work for a company, and they, like the doctor or whatever agency, like they usually sign contracts with different interpreting companies. So they call, and then they're charged per minute, and they say, hey, I need a Punjabi interpreter. I need in my case, French interpreter, and they'll send it out to whoever happens to be on call at that time, and we get to help out. I help mostly medical calls, though I do get insurance calls, and let me tell you, insurance, like my brain is just like
Yeah.
And especially like trying to explain certain concepts to people who are not native, who are new to the United States and don't quite understand how things work here. And see, I'm just the medium. Like I'm just the person like in the middle. I'm just trying to facilitate like communication, and that can be really hard because I'm trying to interpret especially disclaimers. I hate disclaimers. Oof. I hate them with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. Hate that shit.
Oh man. They're long too.
Oh my god, yes. And I can't tell you how many times like I've had to ask people to repeat or just to go like in small segments.
Yeah.
So it's a harder job to do than you think, but for me, it's been very rewarding helping people.
That is really cool.
Especially like, you know, I'm the person that's there helping, you know, the doctor trying to figure out what's wrong with the patient. The patient is here in the emergency room and they're bleeding. What's going on? And they can't understand what they're saying. And I'm the one who'd be like, no, I heard a blah, 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 blah.
So wait, so you can't see the folks on the other line? You're only doing it on the phone? That sounds really hard.
Oh, believe me, it can be really hard.
Yeah.
And now I did work for another company. I'm not going to say their name, but I did work for another company that did also video interpreting. And some companies do offer video interpreting. I can't really do that because I also like I pick my nails, I twirl my hair. Like it's hard for me to not do those things.
I see.
But no, it's definitely a little bit more difficult when you can't see the person.
Mm-hmm.
But we just kind of make do. And usually I work with doctors who have worked with interpreters before. So they'll go, oh, hey, an interpreter, she's reaching into her purse for something or something like that. Like they kind of let me know what's going on, which is nice. So I can like visualize what's going on.
No, that's huge. That's huge. Definitely makes your job easier. So super cool. Aaron, you're still in the chat, right? So I'm gonna do this because Aaron's been with us all night, and I think I want to just throw. I wasn't planning it, but I'm gonna do it because, and the reason is because I think it's been a minute since Aaron's seen one of these in real time. So this is called the Mentos Trick. I'm not sure if you've seen it before, Cecily, but
nope.
Well, they were all the rage about 15 or so years ago. And so the way it works is that you put Mentos tablets into a diet soda.
Oh, wait, I've heard of this.
Yeah. You'll see. And yeah, Pinball says, oh gosh, I can only imagine the issue with translating jokes. Yeah, that would be hard.
Well, it's really nice. I had like one really cool one at least the other day that was, it was like the doctor saying, asking like where the person was from. And they said like they named a country in Africa. Because actually most of the people I help are from Africa.
Okay.
That's where a lot of my French speakers are from. And some of them are from Canada.
Like Haiti or something like that? No, sorry, check.
Sometimes Haiti, although a lot of those people speak Haitian Creole, which is
okay.
different from the French that I do.
Okay.
But it was a joke between a doctor and we call them LEPs. Those are like the limited English proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people. And oh, thank you, Mom and Dad. They just texted me. So they named that they were from this country in Africa, where obviously it's very warm all the time. And so the doctor was like, "Oh, so you traded that warm weather for our cold weather here." And I interpreted that to the LEP, and the LEP like started laughing, was like, "Yeah, I guess we have." And then the doctor said, "So did you ever see snow in whatever country you're from?" And the LEP laughed and said, "Oh no, only on TV."
Okay.
And that one worked out really well.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, those kind of jokes work well, but it's like the word plays. That, like,
Oh, sure.
No.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was just thinking about it in my head. Like some of these phrases we use don't make sense in other languages, and I'm sure it works both ways. So that's so interesting. All right. So Pepsi time. For Mentos time. I got 3 tablets tonight rather than the normal. Damn it. Normal 2. We are off to quite a start. All right. Here you go, Aaron. Whoa! All right, that went higher than I expected. Some of that ended up in my lap. How about that?
Oh my.
Yeah. That was a good one tonight. Woo! That was exciting. Yeah, the 3 tablets.
That was like a volcano there.
Oh yeah, yeah. These
Kilauea right there on the.
Thanks everybody. Yeah, I was excited about that. So thanks for hanging out to watch that. Yeah, that was a good one. We are going to have a 1-year stream anniversary in a couple months, and I'm planning a 2-liter bottle version of that for that stream, but it's going to take a lot. We're going to need a bunch of subs, I think, to do that. But I can't do it in this room. My room will be destroyed if I do it here, but I'll do it in a different part of the house. You can only imagine. One we hadn't talked about yet, Roxy Music. More Than This and Avalon and yeah.
I have not been super into their music.
Oh, okay, no worries.
But I know of their music.
Mm-hmm.
And actually one of my other favorite singer-songwriters, shout out to Eliza Rickman, who by the way is also a really just fun person like to hang out with. I've actually hung out with her, which is pretty cool. She did a cover of "Slave to Love," which was a cover of a Brian Ferry song.
Yeah,
so
Brian
the lead
Ferry,
singer
Slave to
from
Love.
Roxy Music. Yeah. She did a cover of "Slave to Love," and what I love about her covers, and like, it's the kind of thing I do with my covers. If you're gonna cover a song, you make it your own. Like, if you're gonna cover a song, don't do a straight karaoke version. This is what I hate about stuff like The Voice or American Idol. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm at karaoke night number 554. Like, come on, do something different with the song. Like, if it's originally a dance song, make it into something slow. Or if it's a slow song, make it into something fast. Do your own thing with it. Like, some of my favorite covers are like that, and that's what she does with that song.
No, I mean, that's what you want to do. And it's definitely, if you want to do a cover of a song, you do have to add a twist to it, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some people do a really good job of it. Songs throughout history, popular songs, that actually were covers. Did you know Betty Davis Eyes is a cover song?
Oh, wait. Yes, I did. And the original is so different.
Very different. Really different.
Oh, my God.
Jackie DeShannon did the original. It's like kind of like a vaudeville type song in the 70s-ish, Very different song. Really different. Yeah. So that's a good example. And then...
And also, like, Kim Carnes, the way she sings it, because she's, like, got that rasp and stuff in there. Mm-hmm. Like, she really makes that her own. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron's got it down. Like, covers, make it your own. Karaoke, let it be karaoke. And so we're good at the second part of that because we do our karaoke shows here, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Now, I do enjoy karaoke. Like, back before pre-pandemic times, there were a couple of places around here that I used to go do karaoke to. Now, when I would do karaoke, though, I would get up there, like, everybody else was doing, like, country or pop. I get up there, and I'm like, okay, Pull Up In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. Pull Up Running Up That Hill, Kate Bush. You know, doing that kind of thing. And then people are kind of taken aback, like, what is this? What?
Yeah. Wait, they weren't vibing on that? I would have vibed to that. That sounds like a good.
No,
Oh,
they weren't.
Too bad.
But and now one time I did do Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls,
Oh,
which
really?
doesn't sound nearly the same.
Mhm.
Me doing it because like my American accent comes through,
Oh,
and
sure.
it doesn't sound the same. It really doesn't. Like you have to sing with the British accent, and I'm not going to try to do that because that's just going to sound disrespectful.
Like the
I
one
think.
line that I think could be different is like, if you ever go off, so how often, and they really say the T, often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you do, if so, how often
Often,
would you
yeah.
choose a hard or soft
Often.
option?
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about that, but that makes sense. Yeah, Aaron's as good as a strong word for what we do, but okay. The word is really fun. I think the fun is the word.
It's fun.
Fun,
You gotta
yeah.
have fun with
Yeah.
it, and karaoke is all about having fun with it.
Yeah, we definitely don't take ourselves seriously on that show, and nor should we. It's just for fun. It's totally just for fun. So we have a good time with it. Let's see. Anything else in the queue? We'll give you one last call for the queue. Anyone? Exclamation point question. Borg. Yep. And it spawned a whole revolution, didn't it, Aaron? It really did. And now we have this Borgfest 2022. I'm so excited about this. How shall you all bork your stream? I can't wait to find out. So, it'll be all throughout Twitch. The Discord will have all the information about where to find everybody, and this will be one of the fun raid trains. Hopefully, we add a twist to it, just so it's not so redundant with other raid trains. But I think it will be. I think we're gonna do this a little differently. It should be really fun. Pinball, have a good night. Off
Good
to dinner.
meet you as well.
Nice, yeah. And I'm glad you got a chance to hang out with Cecily Music as well. Super cool. Yeah, Pinball's really good, peeps. He's part of one of our regulars here on the Sandwich Show chat, so it's nice to see Pinball tonight. And it sounds like Pinball's jamming the new wave too. Like that's cool. Yeah, but that's really like that's so you're not as big on the Roxy Music, okay?
No, but like some of my other like Pet Shop Boys, they're one of my favorites. Like I went to see them live in 2013.
Ooh.
I drove all the way to Philadelphia to see them. I'm on the East Coast.
Right.
And the closest place that they were playing was in Philadelphia, and my mom went with me because I didn't have anybody else to go with. And mom was like, "Hey, yeah, I remember some of their songs. Like she remembered their songs from the radio." And it was so much fun because they're one of my musical inspirations as well, because I love that they have the intelligent lyrics, but also like the music is very dancey. So if you want to dance to it, you can. But if you want to stop and actually listen to some of the lyrics, like "This Must Be the Place I Waited Years to Leave," that's in my song list, and that's one of my favorites of theirs. Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Love it. Like they have such, like Depeche Mode, beautiful musicianship. Now, very different musically. Like I feel like Pet Shop Boys is a lot more like kind of upbeat pop and dancey, whereas Depeche Mode, like they're like honestly, like I've been getting into Muse lately because of my my partner is really into their music, and like I hear traces of Depeche Mode in their music.
Oh, it's
like
great.
I'll be listening to something like Muse, and I'm going, oh my god, that guitar sounds like something in this Depeche Mode song. So
Muse is a terrific. Yeah, Muse is great, just in general. Yeah, Aaron says, "Oh, I love Muse. I love Muse too."
and of course I love like any kind of rock music with a piano.
Yeah.
And the guy's voice, oh my god, like his voice, I'm just sitting in awe. I'm like, holy shit, how does this guy do this with his voice? Like it's a fucking amazing.
No, absolutely. His range is really good. I don't know. Like, yeah, Muse had some real bangers in their catalog too. Like some really, really good music. Yeah, Madness. That's got a real vibe. That's got a real Depeche Mode vibe. That one does. Yeah. So super cool. Yeah, Pet Shop Boys.
Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
I like the Depeche Mode, of course. I'm trying to think. Of course, Ultravox. I've been getting more into their music.
Let me think.
I
think
I like Peter Gabriel.
Oh yeah, Peter Gabriel's great. So
his album Security is really good to play back to back with Kate Bush's The Dreaming. They were both released within a week of each other.
Yeah.
And playing them, like if you start with Rhythm of the Heat, which is the first song on the album, and then you follow that with Sat in Your Lap, and just go on and so forth, like matching it his up.
Oh,
with
I never thought of
music.
that. So you switch off, like you're like this one,
yeah,
this one.
Like
okay.
I did a playlist of that.
Uh-huh.
It is so cool. Like you can tell they were kind of hanging out with each other, but
Yeah.
of course she has her own thing, he has his own thing, and it's just like both of them were playing around with rhythm and technology and using things like sampling that is kind of taken for granted these days.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing with Peter Gabriel is that he was really ahead of the curve with sampling and weird effects and things like that. That's true.
Oh yeah.
If you think actually, if everybody is familiar with Phil Collins' famous gated sound drum effect, well, Peter Gabriel made him do that. Like he was asking him to do. This is kind of like he was just saying, "Can you make drums without the cymbals?" And so he took that and the idea, and it could even have been a happy accident, but they figured out the gated noise effect because if you ever use a compressor, like you go like that, and it just like it compresses it out, like it fades it out. So he was like, "Well, let's just do this with drums, like toof," and it's like toof, 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 toof. And then that's where you got like, In the Air Tonight. We got Sue Studio. Yeah!
That song that everybody in the world air drums.
Everybody. So we owe Peter Gabriel so much for that sound because it was his idea. Isn't that so interesting?
Yeah, and then Kate Bush like did similar stuff in her song "Sat in Your Lap." With all the drums, I see the people walking.
Oh man. Now I gotta go on Spotify and get this together. That sounds really good. I've heard Security. I've not heard Kate's album though, so that's good.
Yeah, The Dreaming. If you like Peter Gabriel, I would recommend, especially like his more like experimental stuff, than The Dreaming. Of course, I always recommend The Dreaming even for like a complete neophyte to Kate Bush, because like that to me is like epitomizes her as an artist. It's like taking like production, cutting edge, and doing all sorts of really cool things and telling interesting stories with it, and just oh my gosh, it's batshit crazy, and I love it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of her ethos though. She's wild. She's nuts. Like her voice is nuts. Like it doesn't sound like anything on earth. Like it's just great. It's great. That's a great sound. So I'm all about that. I'll check it out. I guess we can just wrap it up here. I don't think we have anything left in the queue. So, folks, Aaron, can you close the queue up for us? And we will find someone to rate. I've got someone in mind. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And I appreciate you all getting to know. Oh, my goodness, our little friend is back. Hello.
We've got my little Sammy. This is Sammy.
Hi, Sammy.
She was kind of climbing around and like, "Hi, Mom, what you doing?"
Say hi to Sammy.
This is Sammy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
She wants to go.
She like, "Screw this. Nah, Mom, don't want to be helped."
That's cats, though. That's cats. I guess. Yeah, but hi, Sammy.
Hi, Sammy. See, Sammy. She said hi in the chat. She said hi to you in the chat. Yeah, she's just wandering around like, "Hey, what you doing, Mom? Hi, Mom, what you doing?"
I love it so much. I do want to thank Irene for coming in too. I forgot to say goodbye when she went on Lurk, but I hope your dinner went well as well, Irene. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. So let's do this. Let's thank some people tonight. Time for some credits, and let us see if I can find the thing for the credits. Yes, I got it right here. Okay, so here are the people who are big parts of our show tonight. Some cheers from Mond and Irene. Thank you so much. And Aaron, I really appreciate your help tonight moderating the show. And I thought there was a gift slip, but I guess there isn't, so that's fine. All the best. She says meow back. I love it, says Cecily. So, when do you normally stream? Let's let the people know when you're on Twitch.
Sure. So I'm usually on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So I'm in Virginia, so everything's Eastern. Those are the times I'm usually on, and It's like at the end of the day, and it gives me something like, as I'm like waiting for calls, interpreting stuff, I'm like, okay, let me do up my set list. And then I get a call. Okay, brrr, go take the call. So those are the times that I usually perform, because it's later in the day and all that, and works out really well.
Yeah. Of times I don't need to... Yeah, I know. She's on East Coast time. Aaron. Good times. Yep.
Hey, where are you? Where's Aaron located? I'm assuming East Coast too?
Correct, yeah. She's in Florida. But
Hey,
yeah.
Cool. Like 14 hours away from where I am.
Nice. Good
No,
times.
Sammy, you cannot eat the rest of my sandwich.
Aaron,
No
I
sandwich
recommend
for
going
Sam.
to Cecily too. She's got some wicked originals, like really, really good stuff.
Thank
so
you.
completely recommend. Yeah, right on. Thanks again, Cecily, for doing this. This has been just a fantastic conversation. And folks, don't forget, Strange Phenomena, the music of Kate Bush. Look for it on Apple Podcasts or your podcast player of choice. And check out the latest happenings and their discussion of Kate Bush's music, which is extraordinary. Absolutely. So yeah, and then hopefully in a few weeks we'll see you on Borkfest 2022. I'll get back to you as far as the specific time that we have available, but it should be really fun. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Aaron.
Yay!
Thank you for the follow. That's awesome. And yeah, and
merci beaucoup.
Yeah, and I recommend Cecily. I recommend following Aaron back because she's got very, very good artwork, especially with watercolors. Really good. So whenever she's on, it's always a good time. So let me go find someone to raid now. I got just the person to raid. Let's do it, folks. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you so much for your time tonight. That was really nice of you to hang out with us. Let us raid. I'm ready. Yes. And look what they're starting with. This is great. So we're going to say, you're very welcome, Aaron. We're going to raid our friend Island Adjacent, who is part of Island Vibing Presents with his wife Vibing. But Adjacent just launched his new channel tonight. So let's go over there and say hello to them as they play. I'm seeing they're playing Animal Crossing's cat right now.
Oh, Animal Crossing, I love that game.
That's great. And thank you for the raid calls, Aaron. So copy the raid calls, everybody. We'll go over to meet Island Adjacent, and it should be a great time. And so, folks, as far as the sandwich show, I think we're gonna be off for a while because I'm taking next week off. After that, it's gonna be up in the air. But we will be back on the 22nd for sure. I think we should do a show before that too, but definitely the 22nd when we are back, we will. Let me just rephrase that. We'll be off next week, and then we'll have some shows the week after. So I hope you have a great time the rest of the time. You might see me on Twitch the rest of this week. Next week, I'm probably going to be off altogether. But you can see me tomorrow if you want to check out us suffering with Death Nuts. So there you go. Death Nuts 3.0. Irene Payne music, don't forget. And so for now, we'll say goodnight. And let's go see Island Adjacent. Take care, everybody.
Yay! Bye, everybody.
Bye.